Did you know that the depth of your relationship is directly proportional to the time you invest in it? Think about that for 1 second. Love doesn't just happen, it's nurtured. It's easy to get caught up in work, kids, and daily responsibilities, but if we don't intentionally invest in our relationships, they slowly start to drift. Today, I'll share 3 simple habits, the 3 Ds, that can transform your relationship. Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Elen, clinical psychologist and relationships expert. Today, we're breaking down the 3 Ds for a thriving relationship: dialogue daily, date weekly, and depart quarterly. These just aren't nice ideas, they're relationship game changers, so stick around as we dive in. But before we do, if you're serious about strengthening your relationship, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now, let's get into it. Dialogue daily. The power of 1 meaningful conversation a day. Let's be real. Many couples live in the same house but barely talk. Sure, you might check in on schedules or chat about dinner, but when was the last time you had a real conversation? One that deepens your connection, opens up your emotions, and reminds you why you fell in love in the first place. The goal here is simple. Have at least 1 meaningful conversation every single day. This doesn't have to be hours long, just 5 to 10 minutes of real connection. Try asking thought-provoking questions like, if there's one thing I could do to be a better partner, what would it be? What's something you've been dreaming about lately? What's your biggest worry right now? Psychologist John Gottman, a leading expert in relationships, found that couples who engage in deep, meaningful conversations daily are far more likely to stay connected and happy in the long run. Why? Because open dialogue builds trust, understanding, and emotional intimacy. So here's your challenge. Make space for 1 real conversation today. 2. Date weekly. Prioritize each other like you did in the beginning. Remember the early days of your relationship? The anticipation of seeing each other, planning special dates, dressing up, and making time just for you two? But as life gets busier, date nights often become an afterthought. That's why setting aside 1 night a week for a date is a non-negotiable. It doesn't matter whether you go out for a fancy dinner, take a walk, or cook a home-cooked meal. What matters is that you're fully present. No work emails, no distractions, just focused time together. Studies show that couples who continue dating each other long after the honeymoon phase report higher relationship satisfaction. Why? Because intentional time together strengthens emotional connection, keeps romance alive, and reminds you both that your relationship is a priority. So grab your calendars, pick a night, and jealousy guard it. Make it happen every single week. 3. Depart quarterly. Escape the routine and reconnect. Okay, this one might take a little planning, but trust me, it's worth it. Every 3 months, take a break from everyday life and get away together. Now, I'm not saying you need to book a 5-star vacation, but even a weekend getaway or a staycation can do wonders. The goal is to step outside your routine, away from responsibilities, and focus only on each other. Think of it like hitting the reset button on your relationship. When you're out of your usual environment, it's easy to relax, laugh, and reconnect. In fact, research on novelty and relationships suggests that couples who experience new and exciting things together build deeper bonds. That's because novelty triggers dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that makes us feel infatuated in the early stages of love. So, whether it's a beach weekend, a cozy cabin retreat, or even just a night in a hotel in your city, make it happen every 3 months. So, why planning your relationship doesn't kill the romance? It actually fuels it. Some people might say, but love should be spontaneous. Isn't scheduling romance unromantic? Not at all. Anyone can fall in love, but staying in love takes intention. Think about it. You schedule important work meetings, you plan for your health and fitness goals, you make time for your kids and family. So, why wouldn't you do the same for your most important relationship? The best relationships aren't just based on feelings, they're built on consistent actions that keep love alive. When you prioritize your partner, the romance, intimacy, and connection will naturally follow. So, let's recap the 3Ds for a thriving relationship. Dialogue daily, have a meaningful conversation every day. Date weekly, set aside one night a week just for the two of you. And depart quarterly. Take a getaway every 3 months to reconnect. These 3 simple habits can transform your relationship. Love isn't about emotions, it's about actions. So which of the 3Ds are you going to start implementing today? Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear. Take care and see you next time.